The Cubs signed 3 players of minor impact. We're going to get to all of that and a bunch more this episode of Cubs Corral. My name is Joey Maxwell alongside my co-host Andrew Maxwell, and we are super excited to be getting our second ever episode to you guys. So, just jumping right into it. The Cubs signed Caleb Thielbar, Tyler Austin, and Christian Bethancourt. 3 guys you may not have heard of, but we're going to get right into it. Andrew, we need to fill out our 40-man roster. Just honestly, a bunch of guys, minor impact. What do you think of these signings?
I guess we'll start with Thielbar. Caleb Thielbar, he was on the team last year. He had a great year. I was not. I said this in our first episode. I was not in favor of the signing at first. I think it was 1 year, $2 million. So I didn't think it was going to be a huge impact anyways. But we got, I think it's fair to say, our full value out of Caleb Thielbar. He is, for those of you that do not know or don't remember, he is a lefty. He is, I believe, 37 or 38 years old, and he has been around. He was a career Minnesota Twin for a long time, and he gets a lot of ground balls, and he does really well against lefties, and that's kind of what he's made his career on. And this year, the last year with the Cubs, he added a cutter to his mix. He was mostly curveball, fastball beforehand, and it made a huge difference. It's almost like a slider. The cut slider that he added is another weapon against lefties, and the way he started out this year, or last year, excuse me, I keep saying that. Last year, the way he started out last year was kind of in just the lefty specialist role, and as the year went on, he transitioned into a bigger impact role, and he closed out some games when we really needed it, and he pitched the 7th and 8th innings, got some holds. So I'm really excited to have him back. He had a bigger payday than he did last year. It was definitely more than $2 million. And yeah, so I'm super excited to have him back.
Yeah, he was a great addition to this bullpen. Last year in 58 innings, he had a 2.6 ERA, which is very good for relievers. He got out lefties, and that's exactly what he's going to do again this year. I hope that he doesn't regress as his age continues. But I think he's a great addition. Going on to Tyler Austin, you guys may not have heard of him either. This guy played in Japan the last 6 years, former Yankees top prospect. Wasn't very good, went to Japan, had a very good 6 seasons. In Japan, he had a batting average of 293, on base of 377, slugging of 568, OPS of 945. That is very good and very above average. Obviously, in Japan, pitching isn't going to be as good as the MLB. The league is overall slightly worse, but still very good. Tyler Austin is going to be a bench bat in our lineup. He's going to DH sometimes against lefties and spell Michael Busch a little bit too.
So Tyler Austin, a lot of Cubs fans are thinking, Tyler Austin is going to play the role that Justin Turner played last year. Justin Turner was the right-handed platoon bat at first base with Michael Busch. Michael Busch is left-handed. He faced right-handed hitters and did very well against them, or right-handed pitchers and did very well against them. Justin Turner took the bulk of the at-bats through the majority of the season against lefties. Justin Turner was paid a lot more than Tyler Austin was. He got $7, $8, $9 million last year, and Tyler Austin is getting just a hair above the league minimum at a little bit over $1 million. So a lot of Cubs fans are like, he's going to take that Justin Turner role, but he's probably going to get a little bit less playing time than Justin Turner did. I think it's mostly like Joey said, it'll be to spell Michael Busch. It'll be to when guys need days off to DH for them. It'll be less of an impact bat than a lot of Cubs fans are thinking it will be. Tyler Austin, not a lot of people have heard of him, like Joey said. I have heard of him. I could really because of 2 things. One, he came up And in his first major league at bat, he hit a homer just over the right field wall at Yankee Stadium in his first ever big league at bat. And then who came up right after him? And I believe it was his first big league at bat as well. None other than Aaron Judge. You guys heard of him? Maybe you have. 3 MVPs. He's really, really, really good. So that's what he was known for. He was kind of, highlighted in Aaron Judge's career.
Yeah.
And then another thing is he charged the mound against Joe Kelly. Did you? I don't even know did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he charged the mound against Joe Kelly. Joe Kelly is a hard thrower. He threw a sinker, hit him in the back. Austin slammed his bat down and charged the mound. And the rest is history. His history is not in MLB anymore, but now it is. So he spent a lot of time overseas. We know he has the firepower, and we know he can hit lefties.
And I'm optimistic. I know a lot of Cubs fans aren't, just because of his history, but I think he's going to be a good addition to our bench. I think Michael Busch is going to be hitting a lot more against lefties, at least get the opportunity to. But I think Tyler Austin is a good backup for him.
Isn't this a lot more time than we need to be spending on Tyler Austin? To be completely honest, he's not going to play very much. If he makes it through the whole year, I'll be happy. That means he had a good year. That means he was very productive at the plate in the role that he was put in, or it means that we had injuries and he had to step into a bigger role, and that means he probably succeeded. So Tyler Austin going to be a nice bench bat, hopefully better than Vidal Brujan, hopefully better than John Birdie from last year. He's gonna take the reins and hopefully be a great guy on the bench.
I hope so too. Going to someone who will not even start on the major league roster, Christian Bethancourt. You may have remembered him from the Cubs in 2024. He played with the Cubs. He was their backup catcher, hit pretty well. But we signed him to a minor league deal, which means he's not going to be in the MLB to start unless Carson Kelly or Miguel Amaya does get hurt. Hopefully not. I know Miguel Amaya has dealt with some injuries. Hoping for a healthy season for him. Not much else to say about Christian Bethancourt.
Bethancourt hits, he mashes, he has a lot of power. Last year he hit 173 in AAA, and not with us. And I kind of thought his career was over. I heard nothing about him. Turns out, he's back. He's going to be a roster filler, like Joey said. He's going to come up if we have an injury. Truthfully, I really hope to not see him, even though he made a great impact for the month he played for the Cubs 2 years ago. But if we see him, that means we have an issue. And that's that about him. He throws really hard. He throws a lot of base runners out.
He has a cannon of an arm, so hopefully that'll be a good, even defensive replacement. Moving over to more off-season mode, the Cubs are even more into Amai, the pitcher from Japan. There has been many sources that have said the Cubs are now even the favorites to land Amai. He's going to be a great addition if we are able to get him. I think the best comparison right now with him is to Yamamoto. Do I think he's going to be as good as Yamamoto? Probably not. Yamamoto is probably a top 5 pitcher in baseball right now. But he's going to make this rotation a whole lot better. Other teams that are interested in him are the Phillies and Yankees. There's also been reports about the Yankees not even talking to him. So just a lot of reports going around. He does have to sign by January 5th, so we're going to be hopefully seeing a lot more of him soon.
Yeah, hopefully we see him in a Cubs uniform. I think we slot him anywhere from 1 to 3 or 4 in the rotation. I know that's kind of a broad range, but we don't really know how he's going to be. We know he succeeded really well against Japanese bats, and he throws hard, which is something the Cubs don't have a lot of. If you want to hear more about that, go check out our first episode. But he's gonna, if we do get him, what do you think his contract's gonna be? It's gonna be north of $100 million, I would assume, right?
Yeah.
So that means clubs have a lot of interest in him being an impact starter for us, or for them.
Yeah, I've seen 5-6 years, maybe 4, north of $100 million, probably around the 150-160 range. It's gonna be a big commitment for the Cubs. But definitely something they should and are able to do. The Cubs have about $45 million more to spend this offseason before they hit the luxury tax. And yeah, I think that's something that they should do, and still have options after that to be able to fill their bench and fill their bullpen and make a great season. One question I do have, and I'm wondering a lot, I've been thinking about, is if they sign Amai, they're going to have a bunch of guys in the starting rotation. They're going to have Horton, Boyd, Tyone, Imanaga, and then Amai.
Steele when he comes back.
Steele when he comes back. Then that makes 6 very, very good starters. So with the injury histories and the innings limitations that they have on a lot of these guys, do you think that they might go to a 6-man rotation?
I think in the early season, no. I really don't think there's a reason to. Looking at their schedule, they do not have a week where they play all 7 days for quite a while, or at least there's not like a 14 games in 15 days stretch or something like that. So I really don't think there's a reason to do that. I think we have the depth to be able to do that, no doubt. Whether or not it's going to be, I'm not sure who's going to get kicked out if we do sign another guy. Yeah. I think
maybe Assad right now is in it, maybe kicked out. We have Ray that could also swing into the starting pitching role.
I'm talking about in the starting rotation now.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, Steele is not going to be back at least for the first month, so that would be 5 starting pitchers if we add Imai from Japan. But it's going to be, depth is not our issue. Our issue is impact. And we have a lot of starting pitchers that are good. They are good. Jameson Tyone is solid. Imanaga is solid. I think the qualifying offer was too much money for him. Matthew Boyd is going to be, hopefully repeat what he did last year. I don't know that that's exactly what's going to happen. And then Cade Horton is kind of a wild card. I believe in him. I love his cut ride fastball. We talked about all that last episode as well. But if we get MI from Japan, I'm going to be stoked. I'll believe it when I see it.
And that's going to be a fun episode to cover if that does happen. So, moving over.
There's really not a lot to talk about in Cubs land right now.
Yeah,
right?
There's not a whole ton going on. Every morning I wake up, check my phone. Not really a whole ton Cubs-wise. But there is one thing that we should cover, and that is the Cubs might have a problem after this year with a bunch of their contracts. After 2026, the Cubs have a bunch of key guys with their contracts ending. Guys such as Ian Happ, Nico Horner, Seiya Suzuki, Matthew Boyd, Jameson Tyone, and Carson Kelly. Wow, that's a lot of names. A lot of names that their contracts going to be ending after 2026. Cubs might have a problem with that. We're going to need to sign a bunch of guys. So one thing I'm wondering is, who should we extend? Who should we maybe get, not extend? So on and so forth.
What do you think? What do you think, Joey? Who do you think we should extend? I'm throwing a curveball at you. Who do you think?
For me, my guy is Nico Horner. I think he fits perfect in this lineup.
Mm-hmm.
At Wrigley Field, maybe not a whole ton of power is going to happen. Nico Horner is perfect for the Cubs. They don't have a ton of guys like him. I think he's going to be the perfect guy that we should extend.
I totally 100% agree. I love Nico Horner. I'm going to, go off of that because Nico Horner was my guy, but I love Seiya Suzuki. I think he's an anemic bat. He's someone that can turn it on like the flip of a switch and can totally just he can go on runs where he has a week of play where he hits 6 homers. Unfortunately, the flip side of that is he'll have a month where he hits 2 or 3 homers and looks like he's lost at the plate and is playing Major League Baseball while he should be playing rookie ball in Little League. So, but I do love Seiya. I love those hot streaks. He had one going into the playoffs last year, and it made a huge difference for us, especially in the San Diego Padres versus Chicago Cubs wildcard series. So my guy is Seiya Suzuki. To extend, I would love to make him a Cub for life. But, Nico Horner, if we can make him a Cub for life too, man, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I don't think we would have even advanced to the NLDS if it weren't for Seiya Suzuki.
Not at all.
he hit so many impactful hits during the Padres series and the Brewers series. He was very, very impactful, and I agree. He makes his lineup a whole lot better. One guy I think that maybe we should move on from, and I love this guy to death. He's
To
a long...
death. You love him to death.
I love
Oh
this
my
guy. He's a
gosh.
longtime Cub.
He loves him to death, folks.
Ian Happ has been a Cub for his whole career. And he has 1 year left on his contract and is kind of blocking the Cubs right now. He has a no trade clause. We have Owen Casey coming up. He's kind of blocked right now because of Happ. So I think after this year, it might be up for the Cubs and Ian Happ. What do you think?
What about his podcast? The
Oh,
Compound.
no, yeah.
We're going to lose our Cubs connection to the Compound podcast if Ian Happ walked. That would suck. However, Ian Happ has been a great Cub. He's been here since 2017. Just missed the World Series team. So he's by far the longest tenured Cub. And it would really stink to lose him. However, he's kind of blocking us right now. We know who he is. He hits 240 to 260 every year. He'll put up 20 pumps. He'll hit for 70 or to 80 RBIs. And he'll have his slumps. But he will always end up with the same back of the baseball card every single year, which is great. But it would suck to lose Ian Happ. I think it's probably the right move to not offer him a contract next year. I wouldn't be opposed to keeping him. However, though,
Yeah.
I will say that, but it's probably the right move to let him go.
Those other guys, kind of up in the air. It's going to depend on how they do this next season. Obviously, we don't know what Kelly's going to look like. He just had his career season. Boyd just had his career season. Tyone has been on and off. He's had some good starts, some bad starts. So it's just kind of be up in the air on what the Cubs want to do with those guys.
If you look, Justin Steele's going to be a free agent after 27.
Yeah.
After 27, so we're talking about guys that are going to be free agents after this year. But we're basically the only guy that's on a free agent deal that's going to be with the team after this year is Dansby Swanson, and that's crazy to say. So this Cubs team could be completely different after this next calendar baseball year, and I don't know what that's going to look like. Am I excited? Sure. Am I nervous? 100%. Because as the Cubs front office has shown, they're willing to let young guys develop, and they're not willing to give out big free agent deals. But there's a lot of time left in this offseason, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I'm still in the optimistic mode. We're until Amai signs and Bregman signs to a different team. I'm kind of optimistic that the Cubs are going to get him, just so I don't go insane. But I think the Cubs will be around the same team they are last year, which is hard to admit. But they were a 92 win team last year, which is very good. They made the NLDS, or one game away from the Final Four. So I think that the Cubs are going to be good after this offseason. And that's all we have for you guys today. Cubs Corral is something that we're very excited about and love all the hype you guys are giving us.
We got a lot of views on our first one. Hopefully you guys can keep it coming. Like, comment, subscribe, help us out. We want to push this out to as many people as possible. And yeah.
All right, that's it. Go Cubs, guys.